In this episode of Carpe Diem,
Oh, this is very good exercise.
Healthy living. We review our past adventures in travel and cooking. We take mini vacations in BC and learn about wild BC salmon and local eggs.
Carpe Diem, seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome. On this episode, I'd like to go back in time to the carefree days before COVID. British Columbia, August 2020, and we are in phase 3 of our restart plan. It's recommended that we limit travel to our local provinces. So I'm going to take you on some of my adventures. First, we travel to Abbotsford and taste some local wines. Abbotsford is wine country. The Fraser Valley is a dynamic wine region perfect for growing cold climate white grapes. Our first stop is Mount Lehman Winery, a family estate famous for its breathtaking views and barrel room tastings.
This farm has been in my family for a few generations. My grandpa actually bought this farm back in the 1940s. Our barrel room has been converted from a cattle dairy farm to a wine fermentation room. When we first went commercial in 2009, people were like, oh, you're building a winery here. Like, that's kind of a weird business to have here in the Fraser Valley. And now they've just spread it up everywhere. So there's 3 wineries within like about 2 kilometers of each other, and we've got 2 more coming up. And it's a very popular thing for people to do during the week and on the weekends, go wine tasting.
Well, speaking of supporting your local economy, getting educated, can I taste your wines?
Yes, absolutely. So this has been in the barrel for 2 years.
So you're a real boutique winery.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And we don't add any additives or chemicals or any flavored yeast as well to our wine.
Ah, cheers on that. Cool. Thank you for this treat. Thank you.
Next stop is Single Tree Winery. I wanted to ask owner Debbie, what does the name of the winery stand for?
We wanted something that spoke about family, farming, and history all at once. Single Tree, which is on the front of the labels there, is the yoke that goes across the back of the working horse in the vineyards. And it was shaped like a half moon so it didn't knock over any of the precious grapes.
So you have vines here.
Vines
Back
down
there.
Yeah, so that's the Fraser Valley block, mostly cold climate white grapes. We showcase the Fraser Valley, has some nice acidity and fruit forwardness. Nice and refreshing for summer, eh?
Life's too short to drink bad wine.
I like that one, cheers.
Cheers.
That was an amazing experience. Next, we're still in Abbotsford as we head to the great outdoors. I'm back in Abbotsford and I'm getting ready for a day of outdoor adventure. Chris Burris, an adventurer himself, is going to take me birding.
It's an easy hobby to do. You just need binoculars and an app like iBird Pro, and go out with a friend and you can see or hear 30, 40, 50 species in a day.
You know more about birding than I do, and I know you said Mill Lake is a place to go.
Mill Lake is a great spot in downtown Abbotsford, and it's a pleasant walk around the lake as you see a lot of different species of birds as well.
Oh, there's something swimming there?
After a morning of birding, I'm ready to work up a sweat. Abbotsford has some of the best hiking in the Lower Mainland. My Zoomer guides, Tom and Colleen, are going to take me up the iconic Sumas Mountain.
So where are you taking me?
Taking up the Ledgeview hike, yeah, part of Sumas Mountain. It was once a biking trail, but now so many hikers all the time.
And this is so pretty.
I know, it's beautiful down here.
People wanted to come out and enjoy these trails at Sumas Mountain. Is there an app? Is there a way not to get lost if they don't have Colleen and Tom to guide them?
There's an app called Trail Forks, and so it'll show you exactly where you are, has the name of all the trails, and so you won't get lost.
What a perfect Zoomer lifestyle, hiking on the weekend.
Still ahead on Carpe Diem.
That's like a little cave area. So that's another True Key resort that I'd like to come back and see sometime, is that one.
Carpe diem. Seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome back. In this segment, we take another staycation in BC. This time, we take a ferry to Vancouver Island. Souk has amazing natural beauty and a few surprises.
We just arrived at the ferry terminal. Elizabeth and I are on our staycation getaway. The adventure begins right now. We'll see you on the ferry. Elizabeth and I are taking the ferry and heading to our staycation on Vancouver Island. Now that we're in Souk, we have to do the kayaking, we have to do the paddle boarding, we have to do hiking, we have to eat and drink and just be a local. What do you say?
It's going to be perfect.
What a great staycation. Great idea. Woohoo! Located at the water's edge, just 35 minutes away from downtown Victoria, Souk is a fantastic vacation destination for anyone who enjoys the great outdoors. So we decided to stay home tonight because we have this beautiful kitchen. So what do you think is so attractive to Carpe members to come to this area of the world?
I think one of the most attractive things is it is very close. You know, it's literally just a few hours and you're in a totally different world. And I would say another thing is such a variance of activities. So whether you're an avid outdoors person and want a real challenge in a hike or a challenge in a kayak, or whether you just want to try something for the first time.
What do you want to do tomorrow?
I think we need to do Whip and Spit tomorrow.
Sure, I'll follow you anywhere. Oh, Elizabeth, this is exactly what we needed. It's amazing. The sound of the waves, the bench. Now I feel like I'm on holidays. We made it to the harbor tour, and Captain Terry, what are we going to do?
We're going to go to the mouth of the harbor and down in Souk Harbor itself and show you around.
Oh, good. It's not going to be a Gilligan's Island kind of cruise, is it?
I hope not.
So that's another true key resort that I'd like to come back and see sometime, is that one. It's called Souk Point. Beautiful. High five, girlfriend. For dinner, we're heading to the award-winning Souk Harbor House. You heard of the 100-mile diet? This kitchen has been sourcing and growing local and sustainable ingredients since 1979. Original artwork, local antiques, and wood-burning fireplaces are just a few of the things that attract visitors from around the world. After a beautiful stay at the Souk Harbor Resort and Marina, I thought we have to go kayaking. Look at all these great things. So, Alan, I'm in your hands.
So we're going to get on the Hobie kayak this morning. They're primary propulsions with a foot system, a pedal, flipper system. Really easy to use. Get in and go. Simple as that.
Oh, this is very good exercise. This is my last morning. I cannot wait to come back. In the meantime, I'm excited about our next destination.
Most destinations in BC are open to visitors, but do check their websites for updates. We'll be right back.
Still ahead on Carpe Diem.
Who wants this fish? Movie star fish.
That's the first question out of your mouth when buying salmon should be, is it wild BC salmon?
Carpe Diem. Seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome back. Healthy eating and healthy aging go hand in hand. Salmon is well recognized to be one of the most nutritious foods available. So I went down to the Steveston docks to find out how salmon makes it from the sea to our dining tables.
I'm here at Steveston's Fisherman's Wharf, and I'm here to buy a fish directly from the boats. I was looking for the sign.
Aha, you found it.
I found it. Hey, I'm Carmen.
Hi, Carmen. Roger. Nice to meet
Hey,
you.
Roger. Permission to come aboard, Captain?
So I want to talk with you because I want to get educated.
All right.
On everything there is to know about how do we get BC wild salmon into our shelves, why we should buy it, and what it's like to go out there and catch it.
This is a freezer boat. We catch the fish one at a time, hook and line. July and August, we're trying to fish springs, which is Chinook or coho, and pink salmon, way up at Haida Gwaii, which is just about 600 miles from here.
I've been up there.
With a freezer boat and about 1,000 gallons of fuel, we have about 3 weeks we can stay out. It's extremely cold down here. The fish go on the shelves overnight.
This is like Alaska in here.
Yeah, that's well over 20 below.
So what would you say to the people that say, oh, I only want to buy fresh, not frozen?
For us to bring you a fresh fish, it would be old by the time we got here. But with a frozen fish, it is caught, it is bled, it is cleaned, it is washed, and then it is tossed down into our fish hole. And in about 4 hours, it is frozen, core frozen. So now we bring that fresh fish out. If you want to have this for dinner, it's a little one, give it a bath of water in your sink, leave it on the counter, and you will have a fish that is fresher than fresh.
Who wants this fish? Movie star fish.
I do.
50 bucks, it's yours, take it home. I'll put it in this lovely bag we have.
Now that we know how it's caught, I went to celebrity chef Robert Clark to find out more tips on how to shop for wild BC salmon. Hello, Chef. How are you,
Carmen,
my friend?
how are you? Things are good?
No, things are fantastic. And you know, I wanted to learn all there was to learn about wild BC salmon. Teach me 101.
Well, the basics are here in British Columbia, we have 5 wild Pacific salmon species. There's pink, chum, coho, sockeye, and spring or Chinook. Those are our 5 species. They're available 365 days of the year, not always fresh, but salmon freezes very, very well. So this week we have 3 different species of the 5. Each one is better with different applications. Like for me, sockeye is best raw. Like if I want sashimi or sushi, sockeye is my go-to wild Pacific salmon. If I'm grilling, it's generally Chinook or coho. On our menu here, we have a deep fried salmon. Chum is the best. My favorite, the underdog, is pink salmon.
So is that a more affordable cut as well?
It is the most affordable one.
So we can all afford to eat that then?
We can all afford to eat salmon. We have salmon caviar, wild chum.
I love that one.
Wild chum, smoked salmon, salmon stock. Heads. Heads make beautiful and very nutritious soups. We can't keep them on the shelf. Canned salmon, I'm told by nutritionists, is actually healthier for you than fresh. If you see wild BC salmon in the marketplace, you know it's sustainable. That's the first question out of your mouth when buying salmon should be, is it wild BC salmon? And if the person doesn't know, go somewhere else.
It's not the right place.
It's not the right place.
I have learned so much from you about BC wild salmon today. So thank you for watching, and come to the fish counter. Well, now we know BC has some of the best wild salmon on the planet. What's the best way to cook it? Let's go back to Chef Robert Clark. I'm at the fish counter and I'm about to meet with Chef Robert Clark, and we're going to cook salmon.
Today, I really, really want to demonstrate how simple and how versatile wild BC salmon is, in particular pink. Just getting this ready. So this is for poaching. So basically, this is how simple it is. Just get yourself a shallow lasagna type dish. I put some onions and some fennel and some garlic in there because those are the flavors that I like. And then you just lay your pieces of fish in there.
And is this pink?
This is wild pink salmon, wild BC pink salmon.
I can tell by the color now.
Okay, and we're going to cook it all at once to show you how fast it is too. So that's ready there. So what we have here is just like a court bouillon, water, bay leaves, salt, some onions, some leek, and a little bit of acid, lemon, vinegar. And we're just going to pour this over our pink salmon. So this is my favorite. So the action of pouring the water into the container brings it down to 97 degrees. And we just leave that. You cannot overcook that now. You can leave it there for 10 minutes or you can leave it there for 30 minutes. It's still going to be perfect. Now our pan fry, we're going to have to struggle over here.
Okay, I love that.
Okay, would you like to come over?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. You can use olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever you like. Not too much. Flesh side down. So we're just going to get a little caramelization on here, a little color. Okay, and that's just to give it a little roasting flavor. This is just a little bit of mayonnaise with some saffron, and I did that because I knew you were coming. And some horseradish, a little bit of garlic. Okay, throw it on. There's some veg for you. And that's going to come out perfect. Okay. But see how easy and fast it is? And here we have wonderful, wild Pacific salmon, pink being one of my favorites. So do you like pink salmon?
I love pink salmon. There you have it. Fresh, frozen, or canned. Buy wild BC salmon. After the break, we get cracking with another powerful source of nutrition, eggs.
Still ahead on Carpe Diem.
The average Canadian will crack an egg over 250 times a year.
There's honestly endless ways to eat them, and everyone has that favorite way. Scrambled, poached, definitely popular.
Carpe Diem. Seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome back. As we wrap up our health and travel special, we head back to Abbotsford with Dean Atwell as he visits an egg farm to find out how happy chickens lay healthier eggs.
We're out here on a gorgeous day in Chilliwack, British Columbia. The average Canadian will crack, boil, fry, perhaps even baste an egg over 250 times a year. And they're all sourced from local farmers.
Right now they're producing around 3,500 eggs, 3,600 eggs a day. I pick them by hand, so nothing automated there really, and they leave the farm once a week.
Well, we are the regulatory body. We regulate the 141 family-owned farms here in BC. We make sure they're following all the rules. The big ones are food safety and animal care.
The reason we're suiting up here is because I may have been somewhere where I shouldn't have been. I may have been on a farm, I may have a bird at home, and it's all for protection for these gals we have behind me over here.
So we're always going to knock when we walk into any barn. That warns the girls that we're coming, and hopefully they won't panic when we open the door.
That's your secret knock?
That's my
You came up with
knock.
that secret three knocks?
It's pretty amazing, really.
I could come up with a secret. 4 knocks is the way to go.
Hazel Spring Organics is a fantastic organic farm. Yushka has about 4,000 hens here. They're housed in this beautiful barn where they have access to fresh water all the time. They have beautiful, nutritious organic feed. They have beautiful nest boxes where they prefer to go and lay their eggs. And then, as you can see, they have this range that they are out in anytime the weather is good.
In British Columbia alone, about 141 registered farmers have enough hens to produce 84 million of these dozen boxes of eggs. Dean Atwell, back to the studio.
Now that we know which eggs to buy, it's time for some simple recipes that we can make for any meal of the day. We're finally in the kitchen with Patricia. Hooray. This is my favorite thing to do, is learn about food. Let me ask you, what are the most popular ways to eat eggs?
There's honestly endless ways to eat them, and everyone has that favorite way. Scrambled, poached, definitely popular. Once you know these techniques, the sky's the limit on the number of recipes you can make with them. We're gonna basically scramble up an egg with some peppers and cheese in it that we're gonna roll up in a quick breakfast burrito. Just get the 2 eggs in there, and you can add that milk as well.
So how much is this?
That's about 2 tablespoons with 2 eggs. You can use any kind of milk you want. So stir that up quite well. Once that is stirred up, you can add in the chopped green pepper. And then just to taste, you can put in a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna give this a quick little mist with cooking oil spray just to reduce the stick-to-itiveness. And yeah, just pour the whole thing in.
Ooh.
You just turn it down to about medium-low. And then all you do with a scramble, just kind of lightly move it around. This is actually a really nice point, Carmen, to leave it on there and sprinkle on the cheese.
Oh.
Yeah, just sprinkle that on, spread it around a little bit so we can take it off, and we're just gonna put it into our whole wheat tortilla here. We'll put in a little bit of salsa. Voila, if we slice it, if you wanna grab a plate, there you have it.
So how do you properly poach an egg?
The key with poached eggs is to not only have your water simmering lightly before you start, but to use cold eggs.
It's
We're
ready.
gonna crack our egg into a little saucer. The whole egg just goes in there, perfect. You wanna get the bowl nice and close to the water, and then just, slip it in there really gently. But yeah, you just leave it in there for about 4 minutes. The scooping out's important, right? So you don't destroy your masterpiece.
Beautiful. The perfect poached egg.
Turned out pretty good.
No fancy gadgets.
None.
Water, cold eggs, easy as can be. For these recipes and so many more information and tips, and of course how-tos.
Eggs.ca is fantastic.
Bon appetit. It's perfect.
We learned that eating well doesn't have to be expensive or complicated, like our staycations in BC. I hope I've encouraged you to support your local suppliers and local destinations. It's so worth it. I want to thank my guests, and of course, if you'd like to see a conversation here, please get in touch. And that's the show. Remember, as our Carpe president, Moses Neimer, always says, the best way to keep going is to keep going. So, Carpe diem and seize your day.